let's check out this scene where Joker has recently been attacked in an alley and he's trying to connect with the closest thing to a sympathetic ear that he can get.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
It is certainly tense.
So the question is, why does this scene work? What makes this line memorable? One argument is because it sums up what Arthur Fleck will experience throughout the entire movie. That line paraphrases the whole movie in about 6 seconds. In Joker, we see Arthur drawing the short straw time and again. He is belittled by co-workers, misunderstood by strangers, abandoned and shunned by estranged father figures. He's basically humiliated at every opportunity. Now, every Joker has had their own theme. There's even a meme that's been making its rounds for a few years now that sort of labels each Joker with their defining characteristic, and they've called Joaquin's Joker the comedian. If I had to put a finger on it myself, I'd say outsider or outcast would also work. There's no question that there have been likable Jokers before him, but Joaquin's Joker is by far the most relatable to everyday Joes. As we watch the movie progress, we obviously feel sympathy for the guy and we're on his side. Who among us hasn't been beaten down by society on occasion? But what's interesting is as he starts to assert himself through violent acts, there's a part of our brain that should be saying, "No, you've gone too far now, you've lost me." But instead, we, the audience, have this sort of dark approval when we see him overcome so many of the people that have walked all over him. And in that way, Joker really appeals to the small dysfunctional part in all of us. If we hadn't seen all the misfortunes that followed Arthur, would we still like him as much? Or could the final Joker he becomes at the end of the movie stand alone and get everyone cheering from the start without knowing any of the backstory? Some people would say, no, obviously knowing his backstory is what endeared us to Joker. And while that's true, consider Heath Ledger's Joker. There's very little backstory given for him, and we so desperately want one, don't we? Everyone leans in a little closer when we think we're going to hear the real story of how he got those scars. But as the explanation changes every time, we're never really satisfied that we've heard the truth. But when it comes down to it, I suspect most of us understand the motivations for Joker inherently. No backstory required. So, whether you identify with the outcast, the mobster, or the clown, one thing that's true across the board is Joker is one of the best villains ever written.